This is ABC 7 News.
Well, UC Berkeley has a serious drinking problem. An increasing number of Cal students are getting so drunk, paramedics have to take them to the hospital.
Yeah, and it's putting a serious strain on emergency services for the entire city. Dan Noyes is here now with an exclusive I-Team investigation that's really shocking.
Yeah. Well, Dan and Carolyn, this is a barf bib. That's actually the name by which it's sold. And since the start of the school year, just over 2 months, paramedics have used these more than 100 times on drunk Cal students to take them to the hospital.
Medical Emergency District 3.
The start of this school year caught UC Berkeley officials, campus police, and city fire by surprise. Never before in one night have so many students gotten so drunk that they needed an ambulance to take them to the hospital.
Berkeley 1, Engine 5. We need an ambulance for a second patient, 2715 Channing.
Fire department reports and dispatch recordings obtained by the ABC 7 News I-Team under the California Public Records Act tell the story Sunday night, August 25th. The calls came in from frat houses, sororities, and dorms.
20-year-old male, ETOH.
ETOH, that's shorthand for ethyl alcohol, someone who's in danger of alcohol poisoning.
I think we had something like 18 calls, and so we were transporting, and it was a major concern because actually, you know, the ambulances we have are limited. So they were basically taking all of the city's capacity.
Berkeley Fire tells me the department's 7 fire engines, 2 ladder trucks, and 3 ambulances were so busy they had to call for mutual aid. Ambulances from surrounding cities rushed to help.
As we would respond one group to the campus for one patient, another call would come in.
At 1:37 that morning, a crew notes extremely high call volume at UC Berkeley causing delays in obtaining ambulance transport. A fire truck was there, but the patient had to wait 20 minutes for an ambulance to take them to the hospital.
Now, it turned out it was a drunk kid, but in reality, if that was somebody having a heart attack or a stroke, those 20 minutes are key to their survival.
That night put a huge strain on the nearest hospital, Alta Bates. The emergency room was full of drunk students, so ambulances had to be diverted to other hospitals.
What we have experienced is that people are drinking more.
Terry Arnold heads the Alta Bates treatment program, and he works with Cal students.
It's not unlikely for me to have assess a client here or have my people assess the client. They say, well, I took 11 shots in 1 minute. Now, your system can't handle that.
We wanted to find out firsthand what's happening at the Cal campus, but Berkeley Fire refused to approve a ride-along with one of its crews. So weekend after weekend, the I-Team monitored the dispatch channels and often beat the firefighters to the scene. We found the limp bodies of passed-out students being lugged out of frat houses.
She's underage. You have no right to
that's the problem. Sororities.
I really need you not to do that.
I'm doing my job. And dorms. A barf bib placed over their head to protect paramedics from getting sprayed, and off to the hospital. It's such a sensitive issue, Deputy Chief Webb also would not allow us to interview any firefighter or paramedic about what they've seen on the Cal campus. But one is stepping forward, not showing his face for fear of reprisal.
If I was a parent and my kid was going to this college, I would be really, really concerned, especially if it's a young woman.
On these calls, has sexual assault become an issue?
Absolutely.
How so?
We stopped a group of guys, of 3 or 4 guys that were trying to carry a young woman who was unconscious out of the party. When we confronted the gentleman, he actually admitted he didn't even know her. So who knows what his intentions were.
The firefighter paramedic tells me Cal has done little to stop the binge drinking. Even though campus police usually accompany fire crews on the calls, they rarely write citations. You're saying that police officers have told you or your colleagues that they're instructed not to cite the kids for underage drinking.
That is correct. We've had several police officers tell us that from the UC system.
A spokesman for UC campus police sent an email denying officers are instructed not to cite students. But take a look at the numbers they provided. We've identified 107 drunk Cal students transported to the hospital since the start of this school year. The majority are underage. How many students did campus police cite in that same time period? 2. They say they can't cite them if they don't see them drinking, and that they don't cover the frats and sororities because they are technically off campus. But there were plenty of calls from campus housing.
The fact that the numbers are going up is, in fact, possible evidence that we're making a difference.
When we called for an interview, UC Berkeley steered us to the manager of their Party Safe at Cal program. Karen Hughes confirms the number of drunk students being transported to the hospital is up over the past 3 years, but she tells me that's because of better education, that students are urged to call 911 if they see a friend in trouble. The message is reinforced on pamphlets and fans passed out at football games.
Targeted messages on the back about the recovery position if somebody's passed out after drinking.
But Hughes admits there is much more work to do. She tells me if she could reach the most prominent 50 to 75 party hosts at Cal and urge them not to overserve their guests, perhaps the drinking culture can change.
I live in Berkeley. If it was my child who had needed something urgent that night and an ambulance was hard-pressed to come to us because they were, dealing with an unnecessarily overly intoxicated student, that would make me angry.
And Cal is not alone. Campuses around the Bay Area are grappling with this issue, but Cal has definitely seen a surge this year. Now, one possible solution to take the pressure off the hospitals, some schools keep the student health center staffed on party nights, so drunk students wind up there and not in the local ER.
Well, you're not talking about intoxicated. You were talking about just all but unconscious.
In danger.
Yeah,
absolutely
really.
In danger of their body shutting down.
Thanks, Dan.